Hey guys, and welcome back to Monster Hunter World. I'm going to be taking on the Anjanath in this episode using the hammer that they give you. It's a paralysis hammer, so it should come in handy. The hammer is a very reliable and simple weapon. There's no big combos. All you really need to remember is that you just need to aim for the head. Aiming for the head with a hammer does knockout damage. The Anjanath himself is pretty resistant to knockout, but if you're able to hit it enough, you'll knock the monster over for a pretty good amount of time, allowing you to get a lot of good hits in. It takes me a while to pick up his trail in this hunt. I don't remember where he spawns, but I also run into the Great Jagras here in a second, which causes my flies to go off. We'll go ahead and zoom through all this. Anytime you also meet small monsters, it throws off your flies, so it keeps me having to run away and pick up the trail in a different place. At this point, I start getting a bit close to where he is. Right here, make sure to mark them on my map, so that way, I believe it makes it easier for your flies to track him. He runs away almost immediately after I start attacking him, so I wasn't able to test anything really. But if you watch right here, start charging up the hammer, and then if you look, my hammer has the charge inside of it. It's a move where after holding R2 down for a certain amount of time and you press circle, you take the charge that you've been building up and place it in the hammer, and then you're able to charge up again. I believe it adds damage, and it also puts a new animation in for the knockout where you do kind of like an overhead spin. Anytime you get staggered or knocked around by the large monsters, or you sheathe the weapon though, it makes the charge go away. So you have to be careful on your timing. The Rocksteady mantle that I put on just now, it does what she's saying. And because it both mitigates damage and makes it to where you get staggered a lot less, it makes it to where you're able to hold a charge on a hammer a lot longer, adding to your damage per second. It really maximizes the amount of damage you do. And then right here, this is the new paralysis animation that they put in. In the old games, it would be like a giant lightning arcing around the monster, whereas in this one, it looks more like the muscles spasming in a monster, keeping it from being able to do anything. This move right here, it's a new circle move they put in. I forget what it's called, you can see it in the upper right hand corner, but I believe it does more knockout damage than regular moves. I should have just let go of this. I would have been able to attack him while he was down. But the more you use that circle move, I believe it increases in damage. But the moment you miss with it, you get staggered slightly and it leaves you opening. I'm really excited that the felines, the palicos, are able to get small monsters allied with you because they are able to ride them, and I really want to see all the things that can be befriended in the game. At this point, I keep trying to get mounting attacks, but I always fail to, except at one point, but because of the angle of the camera, you can't even really see the attack. So right there, you hear a small noise. That's fire hitting me, but because I have such a high fire resistance, I take a lot less damage. These Apants come in, and it looks like they're trying to help me, and then I just immediately start killing them by accident. Run away, baby Apant! That was a pretty risky move that I tried. Didn't pay off. My Palico really saved me right there, since I was stunned. I also noticed that the music for the Great Jaguarus almost feels like Jurassic Park in a way. Get some paralysis on him. And then I go for a mounting attack, at which point you can't see because of the camera angle. You do a lot of spins whenever you do the mounting attack that's charged up, and I believe you have to be sliding. It does a lot of damage.
The monsters are fighting each other? Maybe we can use this to our advantage.
I really like that they put that monsters react and fight one another, and they have these animations of taking each other on or getting tossed aside like this Great Jaguarus is. But it also makes me slightly worried, because I would be very afraid if they put monster animations and reactions of them teaming up against hunters.
Now's your chance to deal some serious damage.
Like, I could see it with the Great Wrath, or with the Rathalos and the Rathian, that they just attack you. Also, Great Jaguaruses are little balls of ferociousness. They just never give up pursuit. I believe they're super territorial, and they just hate any other large monsters. Missed the mounting attack. Missed the mounting attack. I really like that reaction slash animation they put in, where if you're doing enough damage when a monster kind of lunges at you for a bite, you kind of knock them aside, and then they look very annoyed. Sharpening hammer since Monster Hunter Tri. For some reason, I decided to try to race the Anjanath up this tunnel, and he doesn't put up with it and just tosses me aside. I was also hoping I could force him to go to the Rathalos's nest, but he doesn't. It would have been good because you get to see this pretty badass animation where the Rathalos just kind of tosses the Anjanath aside like it's nothing. Just throws it off a cliff sometimes. At this point, I learned my lesson of chasing him up tunnels, so I stick to the back. Using this Rocksteady Mantle, you can really maximize your damage output with sneak attacks like this, because it used to be that once you activate these bombs, they toss you aside, but because you have this Rocksteady Mantle, you can charge up your double charge and still be able to land it while the explosion goes off, because you won't get knocked aside. The Anjanath, I'm pretty sure, is highly resisting being knocked out, so cutting damage like long swords and whatnot are probably better against him. I like having a reliable hammer though. So, like a fool, I call for my Palico to heal me, and it tries to, and I completely forget and just ignore the heal that it hands me, which almost costs me a life.
Don't try to engage a monster when your health is low. It's smarter to focus on healing.
And that's game. Overall, again, the hammer is a very reliable, simple weapon. There's no major combos. You just go for the head as much as you can. If you like this video, like and subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I will also be doing a stream later on today. The Monster Hunter Beta is back out, so I can test some more things out. So come and join me for that if you can. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.